Hello again, everyone, and welcome back to the stream. I am Zim, and now we are doing some Minecraft with the Rustic Waters 2 mod pack. Also, there is a loyalty boss chest on Stream Raiders, so make sure you go place your troops, everyone. And now we can go ahead and get back into the Warhammer discussions.
Yeah, so I'm trying to pull it up right now, but it literally gives you like pre-written descriptors for what happens like when this is in Dark Heresy, when like an especially gory critical hit happens. Because, there's always the stuff where it's like, basically you got a sprain, you pulled a muscle, yada, yada, yada. And then you get hit with like, yeah, then you get hit with something nasty. And I'm just waiting for this file to open, sorry. Yeah. So, you do a crit, you deal the damage, and let's say that it is okay, pick a number 1 through 10.
7.
7. And this is for targeting the head with an energy weapon. Quote, in a gruesome display, the flesh is burned from the target's head, exposing charred bone and muscle underneath. The target suffers 1d10 levels of fatigue. He is blinded permanently. Roll 1d10. This is the target's new fellowship characteristic value. If his fellowship value is already 10 or lower, this can be skipped as no one would notice any behavior, difference, or demeanor. And that's a 7 out of 10. At 8 is where you die. It goes up to 10.
Very interesting stuff.
Just to show you,
Heresy?
This is Dark Heresy, yes. Dark Heresy 2nd edition. And let's just go over what 10 is like. The target's head is destroyed in a conflagration of fiery death. He does not survive. Superheated by the attack, the target's brain explodes, tearing apart his skull and sending flaming chunks of meat flying at those nearby. The target is very, very dead. His entire body catches fire and runs off headless 2d10 meters in a random direction. Use the scatter diagram on page 230. Anything flammable it passes, including other characters, must make a challenging agility test or catch fire. And Axie, that's what's beyond death.
So
I love it.
Yeah, we were basically talking about the potential of a Warhammer Fantasy campaign because, well, I kind of want to do that.
And then all of a sudden I come strolling in like the fucking meme where it's the expert.
Well, I mean, I started talking about it with you.
Yeah, I know. I'm just saying, it's very funny though. And I mean, to be fair, you already had a Skaven character.
Yeah. Though it was mostly because I like Skaven, and I haven't really used him yet. But I would love to in a tabletop game.
And other fun stuff that can happen is like, there's literally like, in the text, it talks about how like, if you die due to like a body shot of energy damage, it like there's literally rolls to see if they were carrying ammunition, and if they were, you roll to see if it explodes. Like that's what I'm talking about when it's in terms of deadly. On a scale of 1 to 7, you die at, or 1 to 10, you die at 7.
Joy. Lucky number.
So if you want
deadly,
Warhammer Fantasy Dark Heresy has deadly. That's the sort of thing where you can break into your first fight full of piss and vinegar, and the enemy cultists roll hot and immediately vaporize your friend's head. Roll a new character.
That's why I'm kind of thinking for something like that. If I were to run a campaign, it would legitimately just be a campaign based upon a single battlefield, where your character's actions will matter in the function of if they succeed, you will actually see changes in how the battles are being fought, and what your enemies will then bring against you in the next one.
Oh, okay, hold on.
What's up?
If you want to play that, you should get a copy of Only War.
Yes.
You need to get Only War if you want to do that.
Well, that's just it. I want to do Only War for the big stuff, and I'd love to do, like, say, Dark Heresy or Wrath and Glory or whatever for more squad-based special missions within it.
Because Dark Heresy specifically, you are a crack team being sent out by an Inquisitor.
Yes.
So, you know, that's what Dark Heresy is. And so obviously, you know, you're sent to deal with some heavy shit that you wouldn't see normally. On the other hand, you can also just get straight deployed to a battlefield.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Ryusho, you're running a BattleTech Mech Warrior game? Are you using the full rule compendium? Oh, if you're using the full rule compendium, including, like, I'm talking like everything, man. Oh, you're using Mech Warrior Destiny. Okay.
He was, but no longer. This deals 8 plus 400.
Yeah, I was about to say, because when I played Time of War, and that was, oh my god. I had 3 pages, like, front and back, because, you know, we were doing character creation in person. And so I literally had, like, 3 pages front and back just for character creation, filled out.
Ow, what was that for, Evolution?
Oh, man. I still remember reading one story about how this DM brilliantly combined Only War into Dark Heresy, where essentially he's the All Guardsman Party. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Fantastic idea right there.
Yeah. So obviously, if you ever wanted to convert into Dark Heresy from Only War, you have plenty of inspiration.
Mm-hmm. I thought that was such a good idea, and it's something I'd love to replicate.
Yeah.
To those of you who don't know, for the Only Guardsman Party, the DM, what he did is that he had the players essentially create a bunch of individual soldiers in an army, and then he had that army just go and fight things. And at the end of it, whoever survived became the player characters. And
Yeah,
they did that like
quote,
2 or 3 times, filtering them through.
Yeah, well, specifically, it was the Darwinian school of selection, and they didn't just do it 2 or 3 times. They basically did an entire marathon where they had the one regiment fighting on a single planet, going through multiple engagements, and then hot evacuated at the end.
Mm-hmm.
And whoever survived the hot evacuation was left over. They killed about half of them because they were fighting Tyranids, so they checked for gene stealer infestations. And then proceeded to throw the rest of them to an Inquisitor as Dark Heresy characters.
I thought that was such a brilliant and epic way to get your characters introduced. And it was such a good way because it ensured that the characters weren't just, you know, some Edge Boys fantasy. They were just legitimately like, this is random dude from Peasantsville. He survived. He has a flamethrower. Let's have it. Let's have at it.
Yeah. And it's like, it's like great because, you know, you don't get like...
What's up?
Are you going to be restarting your stream tonight?
It's like 12 o'clock in the morning, so probably not, but I'm not against it. Why?
Oh, I was just asking so I know whether or not to bring up your stream again.
I mean, yeah, I suppose I could.
I mean, you don't have to?
I'm just gonna play a little bit of Vermintide, and then I'll probably hit the hay.
Okay.
Yep.
Because I got
But-
works in the morning. What's up?
Yep. I was just gonna say the thing that I really like about Dark Heresy is that there's even rules for like, you know, if you throw a grenade and miss, there's literally a scatter chart to determine randomly where, like, how far away the grenade landed. So, you know, you could miss your grenade throw, but it only missed by like a meter in each direction.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, it still hits them.
Yeah, you know what? Sure, I'll boot up my stream. Why not? Hey, Taldarius, do you have Vermintide by any chance?
Yeah, we've played Vermintide again.
I can't remember. Days are blurring. You want to play?
Yeah, sure.
Sweet.
I'm very, just so you know, I am in here, but I am very tired.
Oh, that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm getting onto the tired end myself. Oh, I have been followed by chocolate muffin.
But yeah, so because obviously, like, you know, I'm around, so Warhammer Fantasy gets discussed. Me and Zim were talking about various ways to, like, even possibly theoretically introduce a Skaven character.
I mean, I see that there's a possibility, but only if the character has broken off from the Great Horned Rat. And that in and of itself would be an incredible feat, because obviously the Great Horned Rat takes a very direct approach in keeping his followers in line.
I mean, yes and no. So it sort of depends, because, you know, there's the whole, you know, fact that, like, so many Skaven, like, betray each
A
other
wise
all
decision.
the time.
Yeah.
And there's even the fact that, like, you know, it is not just a regular, but like a daily occurrence that different Skaven just get, like, straight up excised from, like, you know, and exiled. So I don't really see a reason why, if that happens, or, like, you know, they get captured or something or other similar to that, you know, why that couldn't happen. It just, like, you know, it really limits the various possibilities. So
Well-
the way that we're gonna basically, like, the way that kind of like got decided and rolled with a bit was more of the like, you know, kind of willingly turned themselves in order to break away,
Random
and
fan.
now they're going to bargain for their life.
Gotcha.
Random
What's
fan,
up,
thank
Zim?
you very much for that follow. Welcome. Carry on. I just wanted to thank Random Fan for that.
Yeah,
Of
but
course.
it should-
All
I'm
right.
just waiting for my stuff to boot up.
You can see what you want.
Yeah. And
So-
so the other option that we really, because, like, I basically presented Zim with, like, you know, two options that he could, like, choose from for, like, the basis of why his character even got involved with the Empire and why his continued existence would even be
The stealth
considered.
gives us bonus damage.
And, like, the two options were, number one, like, you know, basically, like, at one point saved a higher up's life due to various reasons. Like, you know, basically just due to traitor bullshit happening and him going, all right, I'm getting the hell out of here. Screw this. Saves, like, unbeknownst to him, like, a higher up in the Empire, which basically, like, gives him a writ of, hey, you're allowed to exist now. If any witch hunters, like, you know, really start getting uppity, or, like, you know, some priests, just show them this, because, like, I'm talking higher up.
Like, not quite Karl Franz, but getting
No,
there.
not quite like an elector count, but, like, you know, a duke or a baron or someone that has, like, legitimate power. Or the other option would be something where it would be like, you know, basically like kind of like self-turned in order to like either like save his life or some other various personal reason like that, dealt with the Grey College and gave away and bargained with enough information that basically it's sort of like a, okay, you've paid for your continual existence, and now give us a reason to like, really keep you alive here.
Yeah.
So my character in particular, Stax, he is, evil, like all Skaven. He is evil, but for him, his main thing is he just wants to be left alone in his workshop, provided with test subjects. I found out about him later, but basically, like SCP, I think it's 049, the Plague Doctor.
Yeah, that's 049.
Yeah. He just wants to be left alone to do his work. He's figured out a way to basically bottle the dreaded 13th spell. And so my idea
the more common name for that is Curse of the Great Horned Rat.
I enjoy the dreaded 13th spell name.
I'm letting Rygon know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Because if you just call it the dreaded 13 spell, that can be confused with many other spells relating to the number 13.
Oh,
I'm
in the TF community. I know about it.
Yeah.
There is only one that is the dreaded 13th spell. But anyways,
To a champion.
with Stax, he just wants to do his work. He wants to be left in peace, and the constant attempts to backstab and kill him and stuff, it gets in the way.
Do you want to play on champion quick play, or do you want custom?
Honestly, don't even care.
All right, we'll do quick play then.
But yeah, so that's like the sort of like, because obviously, like, I'm a big lore guy. I'm really into, like, if I'm doing it right. So let's like figure out some way where it would be conceivable to allow a Skaven to not only live but also go around.
What kind of gets me though is that Skaven are supposed to be considered like boogeymen. They're not supposed to.
They're not supposed to exist. Yeah, no, they're not. But
So
it is
I'm kind
known
of
that
curious.
they exist for certain higher ups.
Yeah. So I'm just kind of
So-
curious on how he is going to essentially allow this thing to just walk around.
Oh, very easily. If he gets a writ, he's good. If he gets a piece of paper with an imperial like seal on it, he's Gucci. I mean, obviously, like, you still have to deal with, like, the fucking very what's the word for it? Superstitious peasants going around.
He's just a really ugly beastman.
No, but it is actually basically the party line that Skaven are just beastmen.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That is, they're called specifically. It's like, quote, rat-like beastmen. But yeah, so like even with Saltspire, imagine like you're dealing with a very pious witch hunter, and you're a Skaven, but you show an imperial like an imperial like signed, stamped insignia, purity seal document that basically says that they're allowed to exist.
Okay.
What do you think's going to happen?
That's a good question. I mean, he'll probably grit his teeth and be unhappy about it.
Yeah.
Maybe arrange for a mistake or two, but that's about it.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. Like, I have to find a reason why he'd be allowed to even possibly theoretically exist. And that's it right there. I basically can't think of anything else that would work.
Hey, I'm okay with that explanation. And I'm okay with Stax having to potentially deal with the occasional, attempt on his life. I mean, after all, he definitely would not let go of his suspicions just because he's now in the Empire area.
Yep. But this is just me being like very upfront with everything.
Yeah. But I like the idea. The 40K game I am interested in. It's just I don't know the lore very much, so I would definitely need a lot of guidance on that. But I'd still be interested in giving that a try. But for fantasy, I don't know nearly as much as Taldarius does, but I still feel I am at least fairly competent.
Oh yeah, and it's pretty easy lore to kind of pick up, and honestly, a lot of it doesn't even matter. Sometimes you just have to know, cool thing is trying to kill me. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, look, if I show you, like, a Jabberslythe, you're probably going to recognize it.
God damn it.
These
I missed
things
the jump.
grown yet? Well, I don't know if they're grown, but I've got eggs. I like eggs. Eggs are good.
Rank up. Hold the line. This hamlet shall not fall.
Hey!
Doggo raided my stream with 10 views.
Rolling
Well done,
Thundaga! Hello there! Thank you very much for that raid! Welcome on in. Hey, actually, I anticipate that we'll probably have at least one lizard man in the party, if not more. While Statch...
okay, hold on. You want to include... Okay. Do you know the lore behind Lizardmen?
Okay, before you get into that, let me finish the raid stuff.
Okay, yes.
Before you get triggered, let me finish the raid stuff. Rolling Thundaga, how was your stream? Would you like a regular shout out or a random clip from your channel brought up? Hello there, Quincy. But welcome on in, everybody, while we wait for that. Sorry, Quincy, but it has to come from Rolling Thundaga. But welcome on in, everybody. I am Raw Zim. We do all sorts of things here. Right now, we're doing some Minecraft while discussing Warhammer lore and the potential of Warhammer tabletop games. We also have a lot of various tabletop games here on the channel: D&D, Pathfinder, World of Darkness, Exalted, and we've got a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon tabletop campaign. This spiel is going to get very long here soon, it sounds like.
Crushed you under your shield.
I'll probably just sum up the Warhammer ones as just Warhammer, but let's see this clip.
Said, you forgot to change to Elite Dangerous on the current game BTW.
Oh, you're right. I did. I so did. Let me type this in. Lot
Or
of path.
BSB. Said, this isn't Ring Fit Adventure?
You know, fun fact, this is not Ring Fit Adventure.
All right. And sorry, Quincy, but yeah, I do want to make sure that, apparently, yes, you have. But I do want to make sure that, the clips are only being allowed by the, actual, streamer account. Because if I listen to the fans of every channel, I would definitely have only clips being played every time. But it's up to the streamer. Mass murder of farm animals right now. But yeah, welcome on in. Thank you so much for that raid. How was your stream? Yeah, I've actually got quite a few streamers that are like, "Oh, thank you for asking." I'm like, "Yeah, I think it's the best policy, and plus legally, I'm pretty sure legally we do have to get permission anyways." Most people just shrug it off, but legally we gotta have permission. Because it's not our content. All the Chrisovs, how did you get in here? Not that I'm complaining necessarily, but how? Anyways, now you can be triggered, Taldarius.
Yeah, so the thing is, you can't play a fucking lizard man.
Why?
There's already, like, the dubious, like, other races that you could play that I can figure out a way. Like, you know, Skaven. I can figure out a way. Literally cannot include the biological robot faction with no independence.
That just
That's
sounds like
basically what the
Twitter
lizard
talk
men
to
are.
me.
I don't know. I feel like they've got that whole fates thing, so they'd be like, okay, I can make one exception for one Skaven because the fates say so. You know, some big old lizard dude is saying that I need to do this.
Man, if you didn't die though, you would have dealt like
Hey there, Hotto.
800 damage.
Well, why I still don't see why you can't allow a lizard man.
Definitely not. He's still alive.
There's... Okay, look.
love
I
how
can't
sad is the
pull
card
up,
you can't
like, the
play
literal
with, like,
things. Because I'm kind of, you know, I'm playing this with a rag on right now.
Hello.
But... It, like... It literally just doesn't work. How, like, the thing is that... like, I'm not gonna go... Look, I have to go very, very, very in-depth in order to properly explain this shit.
I mean, I know they already pop out of a,
Oh, he's gonna die.
you know,
They are
spawn hole.
biological robots. Like, they are not independent. That's the best way I can put it.
Well, okay.
They're not actual, like, real individuals, I guess I should say. Not properly.
I didn't want to say that, Ryu show, but yes.
Just kill him. It won't waste hours.
I have all the cows and chickens and sheep and stuff ready for the next time that Chrisovs gets hungry to go on a murder spree.
I know that was the woman's voice, but imagine if you were the demon.
Yeah, we're talking about Lizardmen and Warhammer Fantasy and triggering the hell out of Taldarius as a lore master.
Yes. I'm very not happy about... Look, I, like... As like, you know, I just had to have an entire conversation with you about how to get a Skaven character involved, right?
Yes.
The amount of hoops that I would have to jump through and the amount of, like, extreme changes I would have to make to get a Lizardman character in completely dwarfs that. let's make that clear. Don't get it twisted. I would love to actually like involve lizardmen characters for obvious reasons. I am telling you, I basically can't do it without rewriting actual like large important portions of the lore.
I'm just saying, this sounds like quitter talk to me.
And I played with him. We leveled up equivalent of what would be 9 times on your game.
Or enjoy some extra temp health.
Thank you.
Ryusha wants you to cry more.
I think I've very adequately explained that it's not happening.
Toshime says, just play
Yeah.
hide the skink.
Hide the skink. Toshime, I don't think that we can play a game of hide the skink.
Ryusho thinks you're just not wanting it enough. I think I have to agree with Ryusho.
Okay, look. The amount of changes that I would make what I would have to make in order to get it in there properly would literally have to rival my buddy making it so that way wizards are basically kneecapped warlocks. Like, I don't think you're appreciating the enormity of this shit.
Yeah.
I was unaware that they had no free will of their own.
Okay, look. When I say they're biological robots, I am, like, pretty much not joking. At all.
I mean, shit, they even have, like, clone factories for them.
Yeah, they do. So you are by yourself. Oh, no, that's the random. Okay.
Actually wants to know about dragons. Are they sapient or sentient?
Oh, they are sapient. Full sapience. And when I say full sapience, I mean they are legitimately smarter than people. I'm down.
Jit says, so you have a sentient old one living through a Saurus.
Okay, look, that would technically work, but then I'd have to allow a character to play a sentient old one.
But he gets something where when it's called follow-up.
That isn't fucking happening.
Why?
Yes, dragons do in fact hang out with elves, and they basically consider the elves very smart pets.
Very smart pets.
Okay,
I approve.
look.
I'm looking at your icon.
Just
Right
don't.
now?
It's fine. It's fine. No.
I'm looking at your icon. We are beholding your icon.
No, stop beholding.
What do you want us to behold about your icon?
Stop it.
What? Hello there, Kodaro. Oh no, Coda Rose Pup. Hello there. Actually wants to know if you would consider a wormling character.
Okay, first of all, why would someone want to play a wormling? Like that right there, that's my first question.
Okay,
Oh,
but
there
if
it
they
goes.
did want to, like, your question is valid,
also-
but
I mean, like, no.
Jits wants to know if you would consider a playable squiggle or squig.
No, you're not
I
allowed to
wouldn't
play a
allow
goddamn
that.
squig. You're not playing a squig. I don't care how much finagling you want to argue, you cannot play a squig.
I'm on with you on that one. First encounter with an enemy, you explode. Reroll a new character.
Basically, yeah.
Toshimade says just play a stunty, it would be easier. Ryusho says
Okay,
because
look.
cute dragon tiny adorableness.
I mean, that is true, but I just want to point out the fact that you would be a literal baby.
And Achi is checking your limits.
Yeah. There are certain things that I can, like, finagle lore-wise, and then there is stuff that I absolutely can't. I'm still not allowing an actual playable Lizardman character.
But cute smart dragon, okay, just super small adult lap dragon.
No. At that point, you'd be playing a dragon that just happens to be, like, size small. In which case, still no. I'm just letting you know that Warhammer Fantasy Dragons make D&D dragons look like absolute pansies.
I believe it too.
And just so you know, Toshime, when you say a stunty is just a dwarf, the term for dwarf is dawi. That is what they call themselves. They are the dawi. And that is also why, you know, the Chaos dwarves are actually known as the Dawi Zar, because that means basically dwarf fire. They are the fire dwarves. They are not Chaos dwarves, they are actually fire dwarves.
Oh, so that's
Right,
what he
you
means
show
when he
you-
says Dawizar handshake.
No, that's Barakvar.
Barakvar.
Barakvar is a dwarf hold situated just south of what's the fucking term? The Borderlands. They're just south of the Borderlands, the Border Princess. And it's actually a naval area full of trade, and the dwarves there in Barakvar actually have ironclads that they use to patrol the waters.
Oh.
Like, I'm talking straight up legitimate ironclads.
All right, so clearly, we're gonna just.
So, they are actually very commonly described with the word Karak, but there's also Barak, Kraka, if you're really up north, because there's Kraka Drak, which is the dragon hold, Araka. So there's, you know, there's a lot of different variations you can get, even just based on regional dialect.
Okay, so clearly, what we're gonna have to do is make a. So what we're gonna have to do is give Stacksh a Minotaur bodyguard.
No. First of all, why a Minotaur? That's not even the right faction.
So?
So what?
Exactly,
if you
so what?
if you asked for a rat ogre, there could be at least an argument made somewhere that your clan molder, so you should have a rat ogre. I wouldn't let you have it, but there'd at least be an argument.
Okay, so I'll take a rat ogre. Sounds great.
No. I told you no anyways. I said
Storm
the answer
vermin.
would still be no. No, you cannot have a storm vermin. Especially not if you are a defector. No, you cannot have the faction things. If you want to go and over time, personally put together, experiment, and make a rat ogre, I would let you do that. You are not getting a rat ogre.
Okay. I hear what you're saying. And I raise you. Are you ready?
Yes?
You ready for it? A storm fiend.
No. First of all, you would have to find a way to deal with Clan Scryer to even, like, dream of getting a proper,
Oh yeah.
like, Storm Fiend kit. You could make, like, biologically, you could make a Storm Fiend. But to get, like, literally any of the goodies related to that Storm Fiend,
Darius is writing his own book of lore grudges as we speak. Yes, he is.
don't worry, my personal faction of choice in Warhammer Fantasy is, as you may have guessed, the Dawi.
Hello there, Kaji. It's great to see you.
Hi, Kaji.
All right. Time for me to go in and die again.
A sentient Doomwheel bodyguard. I like it.
No.
It's okay.
Again, no.
I'll just surgically attach a brain to it.
No.
It'll
You
work.
wouldn't even know how to properly do that. There's no other things to keep it alive. You don't know how to mix shit with machinery with that little support. I don't care how high up in Molder you claim to have been.
Okay. I hear you. So clearly another player needs to be from Clan Scryer. Got it.
No. Stop trying to get a bunch of Skaven in here. The more Skaven you get in, the more actual Skaven bullshit that's going to happen, and you know it.
You might as well just make it a Skaven campaign at that point.
I mean, is that really a bad thing? Yeah, I know, right? Kaji, Skaven are super cute.
I don't care how cute the Skaven are.
You don't care how cute the Skaven are? Rude.
No, because I know the fucking lore. You can be as cute as you want if you're an absolute goddamn despicable bastard at every single moment.
I love what I jumped into. Thank you, Taldarius.
By the way, Kaji, I am getting a model made of my Skaven character in the near-ish future. Just so you know.
I know they're just rats. I wanted to make a joke.
Also, hi there, RZ.
Hi, Arzi.
Hi, Taldarius and Rygon.
Hello.
Oh. Okay.
What? I said hello to you first.
You greeted them by name. I'm just... That hello could have been to anyone.
Scree. Hi, Zim.
Yay! RZ doesn't hate me.
Is that for a
Yeah.
stance? Thank you.
Jits, look, BattleTech in D&D, no. I would not. I would not recommend.
Is it just me,
Yes.
or is Taldarius' mic bad?
Yeah, he's been scratchy all night.
Understood.
I don't know what's going on, considering I have all of my same settings still going on.
Honestly, this might be the same issue that I run into every now and then with
I think it's just Discord.
Discord, where it's just,
Yeah.
it's just Discord being Discord. And for me, I've always had to restart my computer as a whole.
Ah, interesting. Might need to restart my computer soon too. OBS keeps flashing for me in a seemingly bad looking way, and I'm not liking it. Here, while I cast Holy, I'm gonna go take a look at Task Manager.
It's because he's yelling out his storyteller grudges.
Again, I do play the Dawi on the tabletop.
Let's see. 772. Opera's consuming a lot more. Actually, yeah, I should close out a bit of Opera.
Ryusho, that's a grudgeon right there. That sounds entirely too close. Dawizar, that's a grudgeon right there. You've referenced the Eastern Kin. You should not know of the Eastern Kin. That's a grudgeon.
Wait a second. Zephyr, support yourself. We forgot the key.
What is going on?
There's a key to be picked up. Unless the key was already grabbed.
I'm guessing you're streaming as well, RZ?
Yes.
Well,
Just so you know, Jits, a Dawi Grudge Keeper's title is actually called a Reckoner.
Oh, come on.
Well, okay, hold on. There is, like, you know, one where it's like a grudge. People who keep grudges. But the person who actually deals with that is more of a reckoner, because they're the ones that actually go out and mete out, like, judgment.
What about the Serpent Folk of Koresh?
The Serpent Folk of Koresh. Now, I haven't heard that shit in, like, forever. There is, like, a ton of very, very, like, old insular, like, things around.
You saying that the only thing that came to mind was A New Hope, where Obi-Wan's like, that is a name I have not heard in a long, long time.
Like long, long ago in a galaxy far, far away.
Yeah. So the thing is, first of all, you'd have to go east of Ind and south of Cathay in order to even get to those. So you'd have to go all the way around the fucking world.
Holy.
You would have to go to the equivalent of, like, you know, Java. Not Cathay, Cathay. So you basically have to, like, if you're looking at a map of the real world and then you Warhammer Fantasy-ish it, go to the east of India and south of China. That is where Koresh is. And second of all, no.
There's the no. I was like, I'm not hearing a no, though.
You do know that they are literally quite literally bloodthirsty than vampires, right? No, Ryusho, Nippon is an actual place. They are named after cars there, the different clans. And in addition to that, they also taught the Skaven how to be ninjas.
Oh no.
That is where Clan Eshin learned how to be ninjas. They went to Cathay and Nippon.
I was wondering who
Nippon
was.
also constantly invades Cathay. So it's like an eternal war as well. And the second thing, the snake men of Koresh are more like, you know, actual like serpent folk. They're actual like snake people. Like they aren't dragons. But the thing about the serpent folk of Koresh is that they are so evil and bloodthirsty that vampires are less bloodthirsty than.
I'm still not hearing a no here.
No, that's still the serpent folk of Koresh. That's still a no.
So what you're saying is they'll have guidelines.
No. I'm more surprised that they were even brought up because they're not in Total War as far as I'm aware. Then again, I haven't played the third game, but I don't think they've been introduced into Total War.
Not yet. There is a faction that references them, but it's not really.
Because, like, you know, you'd basically have to go to, like, Indochina in order to get to that. Make an apprentice spellcaster who somehow turned himself into a skink physically. Then you can play him. And then, okay, playable semi-sentient Ushabti. No! First of all, there is no fucking way that I'm allowing anyone to play an Ushabti.
I'm pretty sure my chat is just having a blast trolling you right now, Taldarius.
I know, but the thing is, I have to give legitimate responses because I know all of this.
So you are bound by your own honor.
Yes. I'm literally just fucking stuck. So, because, like, the thing is, like, you know, you're just bringing up all this random shit from various factions. And I, like, instantly recognize it, and my brain immediately fills it with, like, 20 reasons why it wouldn't be allowed, or even possible. Axie, you literally said earlier that you were pushing my limits, so don't even try to lie about it. Don't you dare.
Yeah, I kind of have to side with Taldarius on this one, actually. You did outright say that was your intention.
Thing runs in circles.
Ryusho, stop bringing up things just because they have the word dragon in them.
Boom.
Oh, I'm sorry, RZ. We can no longer bring you up.
That sounds like a you thing, Zim.
Why is it a me thing?
Ryusho, a dragon ogre isn't even an ogre. Or not, you know, it's not even a dragon or an ogre. It's a horrible fucking name. They're just massive tar creatures.
So,
they aren't related to dragons.
Hear me out, Taldarius. Hear me out. Stacked has a Hell Pit Abomination.
No. Also, Axie, trolls, literally trolls drink rocks.
How they get anything from them is another matter.
No, that is their nutrition. They literally eat and drink rocks.
No, I get that. I just
Yeah.
that's like the equivalent of pandas eating bamboo. I can't imagine they get much from it at all.
Yeah, but the thing is, I just want to point out, like, the intelligence level of these things. There is no discernible intelligence that you could even remotely talk about in relation to allowing someone to play a literal troll in Warhammer Fantasy.
Beast of burden.
Don't kink shame here.
Toshime, what do you mean by just worship Hashut and call it good?
Shrug. Oh, the
You know, one of
carbonite.
my favorite things about Toshime is that he knows all this lore stuff and he can absolutely pull off these trolls so well. He
For
just name
all
drops
this-
all over the place.
Yeah, the thing is, I recognize all of it.
Yes, exactly. And you are giving him the exact response that is delightful to hear. He does this all the time to Kerr. He's like, okay, what about this? And Kerr's like, what? No! Then, of course, I'm usually
Okay.
coming in behind, like, okay, want to fill in the rest of us on what this horrible thing is?
Look, no, Hashut is a part of Fantasy Axie. And that's the god of the Dawi Zar, the Chaos Dwarves. Second of all, Ryusho, stop looking up images of lizard-like creatures and trying to pass them off as acceptable choices.
What about our reptilian overlords?
Reptilian overlords.
I love how this started as a legit discussion and has just devolved into how can we just destroy Taldarius's mind?
You have a while to go before you destroy my mind.
Okay, destroy your sanity. That a better way to put it?
No, you're not destroying my sanity, you're destroying my patience.
Ah.
Yeah, why are you destroying his patience? How rude of you.
Playable war lion that is searching for his home.
No.
What, like from frickin' what's that thing? What's that show called? The one with all the zoo animals trying to get back to New York.
Escape from Madagascar?
Yeah.
Look,
There you go.
you are not playing a Lion of Schrace.
Wostein, it normally would be. I just don't have anything to name right now. The only pet I've got is Chris Sobs, and he's already named. But yes, normally that would be available.
Minecraft Go Burr?
Yes, I am playing Minecraft.
Jets, this is a valid campaign setting. This does not mean that everything in the setting is playable race.
Nor should they be.
To be fair,
Also,
everyone.
actually, no, you're not putting a lictor into Warhammer Fantasy.
To be fair, everyone. Like, the reason Stax is even possible is already Taldarius stretching things a bit. And I very much understand that.
And it like literally him just existing as a character literally changes a bunch of stuff. Straight up.
I appreciate the willingness there, but...
Ryusho. I'm just going to point out, you don't play in a setting that's been developed since the 70s with someone who is so knowledgeable about that setting that they literally have gotten positions determining whether something would work or not, and expect it to work like someone who is a fuck it we ball DM.
I have to agree, like, with Taldarius being willing to run this, if he had said no to a Skaven altogether, I would have accepted it and moved on. Would have sucked, but it's, you know, when you are making a character, you should be bending your character to the world rather than bending the world to your character.
Yeah, I am already being extremely allowing by even, like, offering a way to get a Skaven character in here. Okay, first of all, gents. When it comes to the War Lions, that's an Ulthuan thing, not a Wood Elf. So, they work with the High Elves, not the Wood Elves. Because they only live on Ulthuan. And the Wood Elves are basically the colonies.
Oh, lordy. This guy didn't thank you.
So if you wanted to play as a High Elf and earn the ability to have, like, you know, a War Lion of Trace, that's possible. Are you talking about, like, the Imperial Expedition and the Imperial Zoo? I mean, yes, that is possible. Yeah, that exists. Yeah.
Nope, get over here.
The thing is that if you want to play as a character that wants to get a Warline, you wouldn't start off with a Warline. But you would have the ability to earn a Warline. I mean, obviously that would include, like, you know, the whole ordeal of having to go to Ulthuan and then proceed to actually, like, you know, bind the White Lion to your service, or have one bound to your service by an Elven Wizard. But the important thing is that after it's bound, that's only for a certain amount of time, and after the binding, like, dissipates, you know, you have to continue to earn the loyalty of the animal companion, effectively.
Just give the RZ lots of head pats, and he'll be a good boy.
Toshmi, when you say, like, starting with the Warhammer, do you mean, like, literally starting with Gal Maraz? Because that would be the equivalent.
And the Dragoon pulled. Yeah, it's fine. It's Sprout. He doesn't understand the rules. Alright, use some light speed.
Because it's like a White Lion of Trace is, like, basically like, hey, can I start with a Griffin mount? It's like that level of shit.
Huh.
Because that's effectively what a White Lion is. It's basically a Nemean lion.
Slitherite,
Like,
he's already said no to lizard men being playable.
Because, like, technically speaking, if I bent everything really hardcore, we could maybe get that in. But, like, I would have to get, like, a really, really, really convincing argument to even possibly think about allowing that and jumping through all the hoops.
By the way, everyone, do make sure you go check out my friends that are here in voice that also stream, which is all 3 of them. You can find their links there in the chat.
I am occupied to do such thing to give shoutouts.
Oh.
Also, OBS is giving me some slight hesitation issues, so I'm like, So at the moment, I do not have your chats open.
Yeah, right now I only have Zim's open.
But I still think they're fun to be around.
Who is fun to be around?
All of you.
Yeah.
I like being around all of you.
Meh.
He doesn't. Yeah, there we go. We may have our differences.
I mean,
but every
actually,
friend-
you may not have, like, playing a human may suck, but there's also elves. There's
Oh,
multiple
shit.
varieties of elves. There's the Dawi, which I'm
fuck.
sure Taldarius might allow. Well, probably
Just so
allow.
you know, high elves, halflings. Okay, hold on. Here it is. High
Oh, yeah,
elves,
halflings are a
halflings, wood
thing.
elves, and Dawi are all already in the core book for playable races besides humans.
God.
I keep forgetting that halflings are a thing in fantasy.
Yeah, the Mootland. Totally not the Shire. But yeah, Jits, that is actually a good story potential. It's just, you know, you couldn't start with it. Like getting in and freeing it. Just so you know, this is how you spell Dawi. Axie.
Do this. We pop a dot on that. And that's a beautiful recovery there. Now we get to the crazy part.
Actually, Slitherite, so the reason that Taldarius is not allowing lizardmen is not because of a Skaven being in the group. It's because of the well,
Most
Taldarius
of the-
can explain
most-
it better.
Yeah, most of the, and when I say most, I mean, like, basically all of the actual, like, things that would make a lizardman, like, sections that would be playable, are basically biological robots. Like, when I'm talking biological robots, I mean Temple Guardians were ordered to stand guard and left there so long that moss has grown over them.
Alright, let me go put action traits.
So when I say biological robots, I do mean that for a lot of them, they are completely like biological robots. Ones that aren't would be ones like skinks. No, you see, Jet, some sentient lizardmen do exist, but trying to devise literally a single reason why a sentient lizardman would go against the Great Plan in order to join with the Empire, or at least a group of misfits within the Empire, is like entire continents away. It is so mind-bendingly difficult to even come up with. Like, that's why I said I'd need a very, very convincing argument to even think about allowing it.
Blinding people with holy.
I mean, it could be a situation where the threat is so big that everybody is forced to work together.
That's called the end times, and you don't want to be in the end times.
Well, I mean, you could come up with a different world-ending thing.
I mean, yes, but I'm just saying, like, that's... In order for it to happen in lore, in the backstory, it has to have already happened. And you don't want the game to start in the middle of the end times.
What level are they starting at? Curious.
It doesn't work by levels.
Oh. Okay, what's their power level, if I may ask?
If I'm doing 4th edition, which I would be, it would probably be low, but the thing is that Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 4th edition, if you start as a good class and you wisely invest points, and you use a couple mechanics that are available to all, you are able to quickly get to Hero Hammer.
No clue what that means, I'll be honest.
Walk up to an army because you are an absolute chat of a hero in 1v army.
Oh, Dynasty Warriors.
So
okay.
exalted.
Basic, but also not. Because, I mean, kind of, but no. Like, when I say 1v army, I mean that my early game warrior priest won a 1v24. On the other hand, my party also just almost lost to wolves a couple sessions before. When I say almost lost, I mean one person literally had part of their face like almost ripped off because they went down and the wolves got a critical hit on them.
Ah!
Also, Jits, I cannot think... Well, I'm not saying I can't think, but Lustria is one of the most dangerous places to exist in. If you want me to start a Warhammer Fantasy Roleplay 4th edition game in Lustria, you are literally begging for the party to get killed very fast.
Well, I'm now level 55.
Okay. Windmill is upgraded.
Fighter says MSQ. I gladly do.
Yes, watermill. Sorry, Jets.
Can we only get out of this with like one token?
The health pot beside Bulleye that once. You shouldn't have Bulleye, because Bulleye is level 50, and that restricts you to 49, which means I don't have Benediction or Medica 2. So I'm actually really proud of myself for bringing it back. One thing that could have helped was having Repose, which I finally now have on my hotbar.
Right, right. We were calling it a current mill. Sorry, Slitherite.
Wait, Cur like K-U-R?
Current. Like current events.
Oh, damn. Spelled K-U-R, right?
C-U-R.
Q-U-R? Interesting. Poor
RZ?
Hi.
While I understand that my boyfriend has replaced me with you, that does not mean that you get to be talking about him at all times.
Excuse me, you think I talk about him at all times?
Well, clearly, because he's on your mind at all times.
Really, you're inside my mind at all times?
I'm just saying, you're the one that's sitting here misinterpreting current as cur.
But you know, what if it was, you know, a funny joke that I was doing, and I totally know what I was doing. Damn, we got 2 samurais in this. Last time we got 2 dragoons. Now we get 2 samurais. What? What? Why triple X's? Why more X's? Those X's have spaces between
X
them
to
at first.
doubt.
Huh.
Zephyr, we have to kill this group.
Ooh, I can make you mute yourself for 1 minute?
Wait, Zim has enough channel points for that?
I've got like... I've got 52.6 thousand channel points.
Not enough. I know someone who has over 200,000.
But I have enough to make you mute yourself for 1 minute.
I see.
But instead I'm gonna go with this because it's adorable.
Chaos! Kinda.
Wolfstein_oil has turned Arzidu into a Joltik. They can only talk like that Pokemon for 2 minutes.
I'm gonna refund that to Wolfstein because I redeemed the dragon noises thing.
Wait.
Okay, I'll just go close RZ stream then and not give him a viewer. Alright, your card's been given back most time. He timed me out, Atchi. Did we lose Raygon and Taldarius?
No, I'm here. I don't know about Raygon though.
Raygon! Raygon! We miss you, Raygon!
Rawr. Rawr.
You still doing that other thing? The Vermintide?
I'm not.
Oh, you stopped already?
Yeah, I played one match with Raygon because I just wanted to play one match.
Oh.
Like I said, I'm actually still like super tired.
Fair enough. Oh boy, Toshime. Oh no. So, Taldarius, we're gonna have fun times if you run this Warhammer game.
Yeah.
Toshime is apparently excited to actually use some of his points. And he has a lot of them.
I have a surprising amount. But yes, so like I said, it is technically possible for, you know, there to be a lizardman character. The problem is that it would basically be limited to being a skink, and not only would skink, like, skinks are absolute fucking cowards, like literally on the level of Skaven. And imagine trying to load up, like, that person trying to willingly go over the entire ocean with Drukhari, or, like, you know, with Drukhari arcs going around.
Not all of them are complete cowards, though.
They are literally all, by nature, completely skittish. Like, as a part of, like... By part of their literal... They're not naturally occurring. They were literally bred and designed.
There are some that are actual leaders and such, though.
Oh, yes, they're still cowards when it comes to personal things, though.
Fair.
Like, they are literally by nature skittish. Like, it's literally bred into them to be skittish. That doesn't mean they can't fight, but, you know, like, even getting one over would be super hard. They're very communal. Even the chameleon skinks are still communal. They just tend, like, you know, their skill set makes it so that way they generally, like, roam around as scouts. They'll actually shadow patrols mostly.
Did we lose Arzi?
No.
Why are you not talking like a Durgan?
Because 5 minutes was up.
Sus.
Okay. So, look, technically, there are independent Lizardman characters. But having someone who would be at the level...
Zephyr, you're bullying
like,
me.
A starting party, at the level of a starting party, and an independent thinker, among, like, literally the most hierarchical civilization in the setting. Break away.
Hold the line. This hamlet shall not fall.
Sadabda raided my stream with 36 viewers.
Seda! Sorry, Taldarius. Hello there, Seda! Thank you so much for that raid. Welcome in, everyone. Actually, Seda, you'd enjoy this conversation. We're talking about how to bring a Skaven into a... it sounds like it's going to be set in the Empire.
It would be.
Yeah, it'll be a Warhammer tabletop campaign set in the Empire.
And actually, yes, from the beginning, it was always no, but if you give me a really convincing argument.
But Seda, hello, how are you? Would you like a regular shout out, or would you like a random clip from your channel brought up? Also, I suppose I could go close your tab now, because I was lurking for you this whole time. There we
How
go.
kind of you. No strong compute.
Alright, let's take a look at this clip.
Flippy clip.
Zephyr, I told you. Reworked.
Hold on, RZ.
Sorry.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, it's
oh wait,
this
no,
clip.
no! Oh God, no! It's coming from the other direction.
Hey, Seda.
Oh no!
Oh!
It's coming from the side this time. No! I'm like, it's just like okay, let's pause for a moment here. I'm just like, oh wow, that's interesting. That's like tuna territory. Like, wow.
So I'm guessing, Tsunami? Oh, hi, Rygon.
Yo.
Yeah, I was playing the one of the disaster scenarios, which has tsunamis built in, and I kind of thought, okay, I found the which direction the tsunami's coming from, so I'm expecting tsunamis to come from that direction, and then it came from the opposite direction. So I'm looking at the fishing industry and being like, oh, that's cool. Like, there's some tuna there. I can get some rarity in there. Nope, just wall of water.
Giant wall of water.
Well, welcome on in, everybody. I am Raw Zim. We've got all sorts of things that we do here on the channel. You can often see Seda in here for a little bit as well. But we've got Minecraft that we're doing right now with the Rustic Waters 2 mod pack. Earlier today we were doing some Timberborn. Before that, some Vermintide 2. And we also have a lot of tabletop games here on the channel. D&D, Pathfinder, World of Darkness, Exalted, and a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon tabletop campaign, which is normally on Saturdays. We are currently talking about starting up a Warhammer fantasy tabletop game.
Wow.
Though I know Rygon is also wanting to do a Warhammer 40k tabletop campaign. But yeah, welcome. And thank you so much for sharing your community, Seda. Everyone here that was already here, make sure you check out Seda. He is a very good friend. Wonderful, good boy. He's fantastic. And for those coming in, make sure you hit that follow button and come join us again.
I don't know what you're talking about, Zim. I beat up bullied school children for their lunch money just so I could buy commissions.
You're still a good boy. Sorry, you just can't get away from that.
I mean, I'm trying to earn my evil character's tag.
I'm sorry, you just can't achieve that with how adorable you are.
No.
Yeah, Seda, you're really adorable. Like,
absolutely adorable.
Seriously.
As everybody here on Voice is just ganging up on that.
No! I'm not even in my stream while you booped me!
Besides, I've literally been like entertaining Zim's chat for the past like 2 hours straight on Warhammer Fantasy.
I don't know. It's kind of a combination of you entertaining them and them bullying you. The line's a little blurred there.
Yep.
So how was your stream? Sorry.
No, so the thing about that one, Riot Show, like I understand your thought process, but the great plan and its details and the actions disseminated are disseminated from the slan. So you'd have to have a slan tell a blessed skink that the best way to follow the idea, like, you know, to follow the great plan would be to go to the Empire. And not only would they have to go to the Empire and not be treated as sort of like a diplomat to a different faction or as an enemy or as some kind of beastman, they would also have to specifically fall in with the party.
I'm still failing to see how this is possible.
Prophetic Skink, the party is obviously separate from all the other factions as a whole. They are doing their own thing.
Yeah.
You know, little cog and big wheel sort of stuff. Slan tells them, hey, you have to be at this place at this point. Prophetic Skink is able to figure out the rest.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's possible, but, like, obviously you're really having to twist an arm to get it done.
Yeah, that's what I was saying, like, from the beginning. Like, it's technically possible, but the amount of hoops that would have to be jumped through and the amount of big changes that would have to happen in lore. Because imagine if I did, like, you know, kind of, like, approve that and go, okay, then that means that the party would de facto have the backing of a slan as a result of allowing the skink to go and do this. And yes, Raisha, there is a specific thing where, they did purposefully disobey their slan. That is spelled with 2 N's, by the way. On going
Interesting.
after Skaven. SLANN. Yep, that would be how you would spell it.
Hey, Seda.
Yes.
We're mass producing doggy treats right now.
Oh no.
Jits, I don't think that would really work. I don't think you could make a skink a pet of a high elf diplomat. First of all, that's literal slavery. Second of all,
Since you asked, my stream went very well.
Look at those doggy
progress in
treats.
Pilot.
That's good. You have a fun time?
Yeah, I got caught a good number of Pokemon. Got my 6th gym badge.
Ooh, nice. You're chugging along the story.
Yeah, I have 1 more Titan, 2 more Team Star bases, and 2 more gyms, and about 264 Pokemon left to go. And I finally got quick balls now, so nothing can stop me.
You're super fast. Nothing can stop you. Not even Mew. Oh, wait. No, Mewtwo's pressure's too strong. Fuck.
It's like, ooh, a Jangmo. Quick ball. Oh, Beartic. Quick ball. Oh, a Jet. Quick ball.
Jet?
Yeah, I know. He slid that in really quickly.
actually, skink captive and domesticated. You can't domesticate an intelligent creature. If you wanted to argue that, like, you know, a Saurus, you try to domesticate, first of all, it probably wouldn't work, but there could at least be an argument.
No moonballs yet?
Nope.
That's a shame.
And just like as a reminder, like they do go by an extreme caste system.
So, Seda, how do you feel about getting involved in a Warhammer tabletop game where you've been turned into a Skaven?
You lost me until you mentioned TF.
Yeah, I thought that would reel you back in. Meanwhile, poor Taldarius over here is like,
Yeah.
But
And Jits, here's your reminder that there are legitimately just ships that go over to quote unquote like the new continent, as it's described, New World, New Continent, from Marienburg. So, you know, there'd have to be a reason why they'd have to be pushed farther in, be allowed to be there by the, you know, by the Empire, because, you know, the Empire themselves would, like, you know, not fucking be happy.
there, I fed Krisovs a whole bunch of doggy treats. Got the happy eaters. Now I can just name feed Krisovs with fish.
B
money.
Krizzovs. B Krizzovs.
But yeah, so I do want to point out that, like, you know, there are, like, if you like bend enough things and make enough weird circumstances, you could get a skink to the Empire. The problem would be is that there'd have to be a reason that they meet up in the Empire, want to stay in the Empire, be allowed to stay in the Empire by the Empire, and then meet up with the party and stay with the party. I can do that for Skaven. Like, you know, by the thing. Like, you know, followed all these steps, how it ended up in the Empire, why the Empire would even allow it to live, why they'd want to stay in the Empire, and how they'd meet up with the party. That can all be arranged for a Skaven character. For a skink character, it's like, I'm thinking very hard on what circumstances would allow a skink to stay in the Empire unaccosted, and the ability to stay mostly unaccosted, and then proceed to also, like, hook up with the party, stay with the party. Ow. And right now, at least, I am not coming up with any.
He's already said we're not going to run the campaign in the end times.
No, if you want me to run a campaign in the end times, I would have to have everyone come up with so many characters just to even start. At most, I could give you Storm of Chaos. But that's pretty late game for stuff to even start. That would be very current day. Like, for like the current day start, it would be Storm of Chaos. Because there's like a couple different starts I have in mind, where one is Storm of Chaos, 2 is the Rise of Karl Franz, 3 would be the Great War Against Chaos, and 4 would be the Era of 3 Emperors, about to be ended by Magnus the Pious and go into the Great War Against Chaos. Obviously, you know, I could always go with the time period just after the Great War Against Chaos, and, like, you know, everything trying to be pulled back together after that. Stuff like that, but it would be more interesting to be just before or during.
Either way, for all of these character... Oh, go ahead, RZ.
No, I was just wondering if I'm quiet when with guests because they typically have a conversation of their own. Yes, I could mute myself, let the conversation play and speak, but I was not thinking about that at the moment.
Sorry. Yeah, we kind of got into this discussion and then got joined by a bunch more people, which I'm enjoying having all these people. Hello, people.
Yes, Karl Franz, he who can marshal and summon the Elector Counts.
That meme. I love how in the Total War Warhammer 3, in the Warhammer 3 trailer, they memed with Karl Franz so much with that. Just having it end with him looking directly at the camera and going, "Summon the Elector Counts."
Yep. Also, a twin-tailed comet, like, affecting the Great Vortex, I don't believe that that's a thing I've ever heard of in lore.
Actually, that's something that's in...
No, specifically for Total War, but I mean, like, in the actual...
From what I understand, the Total War is specifically everything in there is canon.
If it is canon or isn't canon, I'm not sure, because, you know, when I was working as a lore master, it was still, like, you know, being released. Okay. So as something that was in progress, we didn't take anything as being proper canon. If it is considered full, actual, proper canon, then obviously, yes, it would be a thing. But obviously, by the question, it being like Great Vortex affected by a twin-tailed comet part of the lore, was that made specifically for Total War? For the question, it automatically had separated them. Specifically, like, just before when Karl Franz took the throne, like, it started to weaken. But it wasn't from, like, a twin-tailed comet.
So, would you be interested, Seda?
Probably not. I don't have as much attachment to like the Warhammer Fantasy as I do Pokemon.
Oh, that's fair. I only really have attachment because Skaven are adorable.
I have
And
no
I-
attachment either.
What was that, Taldarius?
Oh, I was just saying, it's my favorite setting. Also, I just want to point out the fact that I have Balthazar Gelt in the drip gear, like the Supreme drip gear, on my phone. Have you ever seen the meme?
No.
Drip Balthazar Gelt.
Nope.
Have you ever
Hey there,
played
Ash.
Balthazar Gelt in Warhammer Fantasy roleplay?
Have I ever what?
Have you ever played Balthazar Gelt in Warhammer Fantasy Total War?
Yes, once.
Do you remember the one voice line that he has where he just screams, "I am supreme"?
Yes.
That has led to him being memed with the full, you know the Drip Goku meme?
No.
Imagine that with Gelt.
I don't know what that is.
You don't know the Drip? Okay, here. I just have to find my Drip Balthazar Gelt. Yeah, Ryusho. AoE 3 does feel really weird to me because I'm so used to Age of Empires 2. I fully agree with you there.
I will say, for getting a tabletop game of for Warhammer together, we will have an application process. It's something that we've decided to start doing, and there would be auditions to join them.
Oh, yeah. So the thing is, for Warhammer Fantasy, like, if you want to play in a Warhammer Fantasy game, like, I just, like, you know, I need to make sure that you fully understand what Warhammer is like before I even consider allowing you to play in a game. Because the thing is, it's like, I just want to make sure that people understand that I am not, like, out to get them, and that, in fact, I'm nicening the world for them.
Also,
I
just so it's known, I am really just sitting here playing fetch with Chrysolves because I am enjoying this.
Yeah, I noticed.
Even if I want to join, I don't think I would even be allowed to join because I know nothing about Warhammer.
We can.
Oh, you don't have to know. Yeah, you don't have to know anything to apply. It's about the understanding about what the Warhammer setting is like.
It's going to be a brutal campaign, in other words.
Yeah, just to put it in perspective, RZ, at the beginning of the game, you are literally given tokens on your character sheet that symbolize the amount of times that you cannot die when you should have died. Because otherwise you'd go through characters too fast. And the way to get the most of these points possible is to play a human who, in lore-wise and stat-wise, is like one of the weakest races out there. Like, if you play an elf, a dwarf, or a halfling, I think you literally just have better stats. But you don't get as many fate and resilience points. So, what a fate point can do is if I describe the fact that a sword just literally sliced your arm off, you could use a fate point to say it never hit me. Or you could say you could use a fate point to basically be taken out of the combat, and no matter what, you can't die that combat. Or other things like that. And trust me when I say getting your arm sliced off, it's a special thing. It's not. It's really not. That's an actual critical hit. There's critical hits for literally like the tendons in your arm being sliced so thoroughly that it is now permanently limp, and you are now crippled.
I fondly remember my first tabletop RPG was Dark Heresy 2nd Edition and all the critical damage in that.
Oh yeah. Which one was that?
Dark Heresy 2nd Edition.
Oh yeah, that's the one that I want to play for. That's the one that I want to play. Imagine that, but just in fantasy.
Yeah, I had my melee psyker lose his arm in a building collapse, and then when we were in a boss battle, he took enough plasma damage, I think it was.
It would be energy damage.
Energy damage. Yeah, he took enough energy damage, critical, that his other arm got burnt off.
Yes, I showed them I read them off part of the chart for criticals in Dark Heresy and explained that on a scale of 1 to 10, 7 is death.
Yes, I did. Oh, sorry.
And then people asked, how can you get more than dead? And then I explained how you can get more than dead.
Yeah, I think one is your arm gets turns to ash, and then your arm explodes.
No, I'm talking about the full, yeah.
And sends projectiles everywhere to damage everyone else.
By the way, trust me when I say that if you guys have to fight a necromancer, you're fighting a Warhammer Fantasy lore accurate necromancer. Have fun.
It's okay. Starks would be more than pleased happy to reattach a nice new limb onto that stump there. Yes, yes. Does it have
Just
to be
so everyone
human?
knows, necromancers in Warhammer Fantasy, they would laugh at you and ask what a spell slot is as they raise up an entire another army.
Rank up. Hold the line. This hamlet shall not fall.
Give you that ice
RW2
cream,
rated
huh?
my stream with 4 views.
Give me the ice cream. I want chocolate chip ice cream with cookie dough and vanilla. Give us.
I don't have that, but I do have actual chocolate chip cookies and some chocolate ice cream.
I'm sorry.
No, I don't want chocolate ice cream.
Arzy, I can't. I just can't do that because it would be cruel to give a puppy chocolate.
I'm sorry. Puppy? Excuse me. Excuse me. Oh, insulting. Absolutely.
You are currently Azareth on the stream, so...
I was actually going to flip it on its head and just be like, ice cream?
Ow.
I'm sorry, the ice cream's for puppy types only.
I'm sorry.
Well, yeah, the ice cream is for puppy types, but chocolate is not for puppy types, so, you know.
No. I don't want chocolate. I want chocolate chip cookie dough ice cream with vanilla.
Yep. Yeah, and sorry, that's only for puppy types.
You know what? Fine. Forget this. Good night.
Oh, okay. On a side note, if you look in media sharing, you can see I Am Supreme Balthazar Guild.
Alright. I'm going to be heading out too. It's almost 2, so catch y'all.
Have a great night, Rygon.
Thanks for coming in. Rygon? Are you still here?
He just dropped.
Rygon left already.
Oh. Ah, that. I know. Seda has such adorably cute little whines. They're precious.
Oh.
Seda is precious.
Oh, absolutely.
And a fantastic friend. Definitely one of the best you could ever ask for.
I mean,
I'm not
seriously,
gonna
could you
bonk him.
ask for a gooder boy than Seda? Raisha's mind entered the gutter when we were talking about lizardmen and it never left.
Oh no. To answer that question, no.
I have a fridge with a whole bunch of eggs. I am happy.
And no, I will not be taking questions at this time. I don't want to get Zim banned.
Oh, okay, okay. So I'll be asking questions after the stream is over then.
Yeah, ask away.
Or I'll slip into your DMs.
I mean...
I bet that's not the only thing of his you could slip into.
I have a boyfriend.
I can make a joke still.
Yes, but I'm just working myself up to the point where I can like say that like in that very stereotypical way with a lot of sass. But I'm not quite there yet.
Oh, you mean like this? I have a boyfriend?
Basically.
But yes, so the fun thing about necromancers in Warhammer Fantasy is the fact that they don't know what spell slots are, and that there's literally nothing from them reassembling a skeleton in front of you as you slice through it. I'm talking like if you put a Warhammer Fantasy necromancer versus a lich from D&D, the fucking Warhammer Fantasy necromancer would do an RKO from the top rope against the lich.
I'm just going on mass livestock murder, don't mind me.
Look, I demand a cheeseburger.
I can do that.
Dart demands cheeseburger. No. Dart demands bacon cheeseburger.
I think that's in this mod pack.
Get burger.
Give me a moment, I gotta get all the parts for it.
Demand burger.
I'm working on it. I'm literally killing the cows to make the burger. Actually, I don't have pigs. I gotta go find pigs.
You know, I can deal without the bacon. I just want a comically sized burger in Dart's mouth.
I can certainly push some. I mean, what? Ow! Oh, why?
Come on. You know why.
Okay, yes, I do. But it was still funny. And had to be said. Ow. What the heck? Heart Crystal Shard? Power Crystal Shard? Okay. Die, Jimkins! Oh, there's one still alive. You still there, Taldarius?
Yes, I am still here. What is your question for me?
Oh, I was just wondering, how soon you think we could get this going?
Well, first of all, it depends about, how fast we could even get a group together for it.
I mean,
because, the good thing is, I have to do, like, almost no world building for this. I already have the world built.
To be fair, as far as that goes, I literally had an entire group ready to go for the poker roll game. Granted, we had to make some changes, but that was outside of actual, like, setup stuff. But I literally had a group together within a few hours.
Okay, then after that, it would be scheduled.
Then again, with the new process, I guess it will take a little longer.
Yes.
What do you mean by proper beans, Silitherite? What's wrong with his current beans? Do you not like the professor's beans?
Are we going to have to do a bean tier list?
Apparently so. I guess my beans are probably going to be at the bottom of the list.
Do we have to put Rishu in jail?
Yes, yes. Ryusho, go take a shower. A very cold one. Jeez, man. Slitherite, the professor also has full pad paws. There's the Marseps are a combination between plantigrade and digigrade. They're kind of in a medium level there between the two. They don't. So for them, they do have a full pad soul. Though they sometimes stand on their toes, sometimes they stand on the heel. It kind of all depends on the situation. But with the quakes that their planet faces constantly, sometimes you just need a bit more stability with your stance, and so that's where that's why they that's why they had to, or that's why they are both in between there. Yeah. What are you, what are you, doing that for, Chris Offs? And yes, Seda, or Slitherite. Seda does have nice beans.
Okay, so real quick, and I just want to point out that these are not champions. These are basically just elite foot troops. Look at what Graveguard look like in Warhammer Fantasy and realize that there's no cooldown on when the Necromancer can revive these things in a fight. For your, fantasy brains, when you look at these, how fucked do you think you are?
Oh, I know Graveguards from Total War.
Oh, okay, yeah.
When I play
Now-
Total War
okay.
against the vampire factions, I always make sure to wipe them out ASAP. Not for not because of their corruption or the fact that they're a nuisance or anything, but simply because the moment they get those grave guards, I'm fucked.
Yeah, so now imagine this without the regen limit implanted in the game or the morale mechanic implanted in the game, and also with no cap to revivals, and then add more of them. That's what fighting the vampires are like, and the undead factions. So imagine someone commanding that along with various other shit. And then toss them against like a D&D Lich with its undead army. Who do you think wins?
Yeah, them. Definitely.
Yeah, I know, right? And realize that if you guys ever have to fight these things, you're fighting the actual versions.
I know fighting the vampires is easy up until they get that point, though. At least in Total War.
Oh, yeah. Probably in game, yeah.
Because I just ignore all of their troops and focus fire their commander down, and then the troops just disintegrate.
That's lore accurate. That is lore accurate, yes. That is, in fact, how they work. The problem is if you guys choose a certain timeline period, you guys get to deal with Vladdy Daddy. I'm talking lore accurate Vlad von Karstein Vashanesh. So how powerful do you think Manfred von Karstein is?
Well, definitely not as powerful as Vlad.
No, but just like on a ranking, how powerful do you think Manfred von Karstein is?
Pretty high up there.
Vlad, the moment he was revived, with none of his equipment and feasting on 0 blood beforehand, fought a fully equipped and ready Manfred von Karstein and bodied him.
I don't know what that means.
He basically treated him like a little bitch and had no problem beating him.
Ah.
Upon just being revived as a vampire with no equipment and no blood.
Okay, I'm not pulling that off. I need to get a farm set up. But yeah, I know that we would be very, very much in trouble if he were to pop up.
Yeah. And like, just to point out, like, if you're fighting full-on Vlad, he has his ring. Do you know what that means for Vlad?
No.
When you kill him, he will revive the same day or the next day.
Oh. So just get to a different continent before he does. Got it.
Yeah.
You,
Or,
you
just
kill him
steal
and
the
you've
ring.
got...
Yeah, steal the ring. Off of his hand.
I don't think that's going to be as easy as you put it out to be.
Oh, yeah. Yep, the battle at Essen Ford was considered a total Imperial massacre. Knee-deep in the mud and overwhelmed by impossible odds, the human army was easily swept away. At the end of the battle, Fisher came across his brother-in-law, John Skellen. When the prisoners were lined up before the vampire count, Vlad showed them the extent of his power. While speaking with the leader of the army detachment, he invited first Gans, then 3 vampires, including Skellen, to kill a prisoner of their choosing. Skellen chose Fisher and bled him dry, thus reuniting him with his dead wife. Vlad reanimated each of the dead Imperials, then asked the still living Imperial commander of this defeated army to choose one of his men to live. The latter refused, not wanting to decide about life or death of his own. The vampire count thus chose the youngest of the prisoners and announced him he alone would live to spread fear of the vampires throughout the Empire. In this moment of distraction, the Imperial commander took Vlad's sword and beheaded the count with a swift stroke. Hermann Prosner severed the commander's hand in an instant afterwards, but it was too late, for the vampire count was no more. However, just as Prosner had finished giving orders regarding the torture of the Imperial commander who had slain the vampire count, he suddenly remarked that the body of the count had disappeared.
Oh.
At the end of the night, Prosner had obtained control over the undead army and was going to attempt to acquire the last thing that would truly cement his power, Vlad's widow, Isabella. Yada yada yada, just goes out, does shit. Gently, Hermann Prosner led Isabella out of the tent and claimed her before the whole army as his bride by right of strength. Then the most unpredictable of things happened, for from the back of the crowd someone answered the challenge. The undead all stepped away from the one who had spoken, and there stood Vlad von Karstein.
Fun.
Oh, hi, Ash.
Hi. Didn't want to interrupt.
Oh, you're fine.
I'm very interested in this campaign. Oh,
Very
yeah, right, you
interested in
show.
all of the deadly bullshit I throw at you.
I mean, don't get me wrong. Stax definitely does not want to, I don't want Stax to be killed. But at the same time, death, it's a little bit more fluid in Warhammer.
What's a little bit more fluid?
Death.
Oh, yeah. And yes, Slitherite, Vlad von Karstein, Vashanesh is absolutely the full embodiment of Dracula. Mostly considering the fact that Dracula is based off of Vlad Tepes. And Vlad, you know, obvious inspiration. But, you know, as much as it would be awful to run into any of these vampires, imagine if you run into a Strigoi Ghoul King. Ooh.
That sounds bad.
Yeah, that sounds bad. You want to see a picture of a Strigoi Ghoul King?
Shoot.
Alright, so for a bacon cheeseburger. Because, yes, I am trying to get that done for you, Seda. Let's see, do you want mayo, barbecue, hot sauce, ketchup?
I'll take ketchup.
Ketchup.
Huh.
How do I make ketchup? Oh, I've got that.
One would think it has tomatoes of some sort in there.
Oh, I am now out of ketchup. Or tomatoes. Tomatoes.
No.
Potato.
You look in media sharing, you could look at what a Strigoi Ghoul King looks like.
They do not look friendly.
No, because they're not. So, are you familiar with Warhammer Fantasy at all? At least, like, ogres?
I'm not really.
Oh. So, I guess I'll send a picture of an ogre real quick. So, these are ogres. Look at the size of the lads.
Uh-huh.
A Strigoi Ghoul King can rip an ogre in half with its bare hands.
Well, shit.
And it has all of that vampire strength, and unfortunately, it also has hyperdementia.
Okay.
That means there's no dealing with it. You cannot
Right.
verbally deal with it because it will just straight up get dementia and think it's 500 years ago. And
Huh.
you are a mortal enemy that it sees before you. That it sees before it.
Holy crap, this is a complicated recipe. Better appreciate this dart.
Everything fun usually is.
Oh, right. I need water.
Hey, Ash, you're being greeted.
What?
You're being
hey,
greeted
Archie.
by chat.
Achoo!
But yes, you know what's a legitimate way to deal with a vampire in Warhammer Fantasy?
What?
You hope that its special brand of neurosis is that if a large amount of things are presented before it, it must count them. And you proceed to throw down a bunch of rice grains in front of it and watch as it frantically starts to neurotically pick them up and count it.
Yeah, that was on an X-Files episode.
Yeah, so
Oh,
all of the
man.
classical... So the thing about Warhammer Fantasy Vampires is that all of the classical weaknesses apply, but only some of them to each. Figure it out.
Well, the question reigns in that case, how long do you have to figure it out?
Until it kills you.
Well, that's a relief.
The only weakness that all vampires share is that they must drink blood.
Duke.
But even that, like, has special weaknesses. Like, for example, there are vampires that cannot drink the blood of the pure and innocent.
Hey,
Ты чё
Seda.
такой псих, Бадди?
Apparently Chrisovs is going to steal the burger.
No.
All right.
My burger.
here are a few of the weaknesses that you would have to laundry list run through while the vampire is currently attempting to brutally murder you. The Blessing of the Lady, barriers where, they can't enter unknown structures, that one. Counting, obsessed with counting. Demon's Root and Witchbane, which are plants. Fire, Garlic, Gromril, which is a special dwarven metal. Ithalmar, which is a special dwarven, elven steel. That they don't have a reflection. They are weak to religious symbols. They are repelled by holy books. That they are disgusted and repelled by the smell of sawdust. That silver will burn them. That putting a stake through its heart will kill it. A weakness to direct sunlight. Tears of a virtuous mortal. Warpstone, running water. Those are all weaknesses that any one vampire may have.
May have, but they're not guaranteed
May
to have.
There is not a guaranteed amount, quantity, or that they will all share one.
All right.
You must go through the laundry list.
I have made you a bacon cheeseburger.
Burger!
In fact, I made one for each of us here in voice.
Oh, yeah.
Yay. I already have pizza, though. For seasoned Italian food.
And so here are a few of the insanity weaknesses that they could also have. Banquet of Blood. Vampires who gorge on blood often become addicted by it. And if they drink enough blood in a day, they become insane. The Beast Returned. That like at any moment, if they feel the need to feed, they will in fact like basically go full feral and do it. Vampires, critical hits where they gain insanity every critical hit they take from silvered or blessed weapons or other things like that. There's one called the Melancholy of Age, where vampires may gain insanity for every century they live after being given the blood kiss. Other things like that. And when I say like hyper dementia, I do mean like hyper dementia for the Strigoi. Like it's bad.
So, how's the bacon cheeseburger? Good,
And that,
good.
as we all know, is safe to speak for. It's very, very good.
I doubt Seda is also in Rygon's server. If you're referring to Discord? I don't know. Are you, Seda?
I didn't know Rygon had a server.
It's a tiny one.
Yep.
But it does exist.
Okay, goodbye, Riot Show. Don't forget your cold shower.
Sleep well, Ryusho.
I'm gonna also have to probably head out because it is past 5 o'clock in the morning.
It's only 8 o'clock at night, though. Come on.
So you beans have a lovely, lovely night.
Good night.
Sleep well. Thank you for coming by.
Go to bed, Zim.
Why?
It's like 3 o'clock in the morning.
No, stay up, Sim. Then I'll have someone to talk to.
I will consider your proposals.
Besides, you did say earlier that if you started playing Minecraft, you'd play for 8 hours. So you have that obligation.
No, that was if I started
is
it
true.
then. But Seda, don't forget that you are a wonderful being.
He is a wonderful being.
Confirmed.
Also, I found another biocylinder, but no pigs!
I think I'm gonna finally stop the 3.5 hour long tangent about Warhammer Fantasy. Or however long it's actually been. Because at this point, like, I don't think your chat can take it anymore.
So,
They tried
I
their
can
best
take
to
it.
mess with me, and I completely outlasted them.
But I can take it. I'm
Oh, what?
enjoying the enjoying the discussion.
Okay, what do you want to learn
That's all
about?
you're
then?
enjoying?
Oh, I am enjoying him being tortured by the chat as well. Or at least attempting to be tortured by the chat.
Look, you're telling an addict to talk more. I don't know how you're gonna like properly torture me into stopping. For the chat,
Oh, it's
at
not
least.
really torturing you into stopping. It's just, you know.
What's that under there?
Anyways. Oh, it's
yeah, that's
IRL.
right, Slitherite. I outlasted. That's right, I outlasted you all.
Oof.
So, anyways, yeah, Evolution. If it's fan art, you can post it in fan art and tag who it's for. Otherwise, there's art share. I don't need that.
And I guess I could talk about how Magnus the Pious pulled an absolute Chad gamer move.
One thing that I do want to know is, basically, like, are you actually, serious? Like, one question I do have is, are you actually serious about the running of the, game?
Okay, so the thing about Warhammer Fantasy is that I am very serious about, like, you know, getting to run a game in that system.
Okay. I was waiting for a but there. Does it sound like there was going to be a but?
I mean, I guess the but is just I'd have to get the right players for it.
Right.
Because, you know, obviously, like, not everyone can handle the characters that they spend, like, you know, so much loving time on. Possibly just getting straight bodied and RKO'd from the top rope.
What if the characters you spend so much time on all come from the same village? And it's a village just consecutively sending people.
Rank up. Hold the line.
Oh
This
my
hamlet
God.
shall not fall.
Lukitsu raided
Hi,
my
Kitsu.
stream with 30 viewers.
So many raids today!
You gotta stream for another hour at least with that.
Kitsu, hello there! Would you like a random clip from your channel brought up on stream, or would you like a regular shout out? And seriously, all these people that you're all keep raiding in here, give me some all of them.
Surprised
Oh,
up
God,
here.
that's
I should say. Hey, very nice.
That very scared the shit out of me. I apologize, everyone. Everybody else's clips are so quiet. It's like, what did they say? What's going on? And then Kitsu's just comes in and is like, BOOG! Yeah, you know those eardrums? Yeah, you don't have them anymore. Anyways. Welcome on in, everybody. I am Raw Zim. We do variety of games here. Right now we're doing some Minecraft on the Rustic Waters 2 mod pack. We also have a lot of tabletop games here. D&D, Pathfinder, World of Darkness, Exalted. We've got a Pokemon Mystery Dungeon tabletop campaign. There are talks about bringing a Warhammer 40k game as well as a Warhammer fantasy game in the near future. So if you are all interested in that, please join our Discord, as well as make sure you hit that follow button. And for those already here, share the love with Kitsu. Kitsu is a very good friend of mine, and he is an awesome individual. Yes, you can throw Kaji sticks at me. Holy crap. Was not expecting all of these raids tonight. That would go in fan art evolution. How was your stream, Kitsu? What's up, Taldarius?
Oh, I was just gonna say that it's just got to be a good luck charm since I was able to hang out.
Yeah, you gotta hang out more. Stream was okay. Why just okay? You have to have great streams. Even if not a whole lot of people come, you know, it's still great to hang out with friends and stuff. And you get those wonderful friends that come by and hang out, regardless of how big a streamer you are.
I'm not even gonna lie, Kitsu, my mom literally did that shit to me because I was talking with her about how I made burgers. And she was like, oh, how good were your burgers? And I went, oh yeah, they were good. And they're like, they weren't great. What could you do better next time?
Oh.
And I'm just like, come the fuck on. I just talked about how I got a good burger.
Well, Kitsu, you should come join us on Voice. Come join the chaos. Wait, no, not chaos. We're not doing chaos.
I was about to say it has
join the order.
Chaotic anyways. It's mostly just been me talking about Warhammer Fantasy for the past 2 hours.
Yeah, which has been great.
It's not exactly chaotic.
I have been enjoying it. Now, where were we before the, before we got, sidetracked? Or I got sidetracked?
From what I remember, it was, you getting ready to ask a question about something that you were interested in. At least that's the last thing that I remember.
Right. So yeah, you are on board for running it. We'll need to figure out a day and time, which we could, I mean, you know what your schedule is well enough, we could figure that out now.
Yeah.
For those
So,
that are
least,
interested in joining, real quick, sorry.
okay, go.
Like I said, we will have a, it would be a application process, and there will be auditions. So you wouldn't have to know everything about Warhammer into you would not need to know everything about Warhammer to join.
Yeah. Look, let's be honest. When it comes to the lore, most people in Warhammer don't know much about Warhammer.
Yeah.
So it's not an issue if you don't know the lore. It's just more like, I'd like people who already know the reputation of the setting and understand that it is not going to be like D&D where you are super special heroes and right from the get-go and you're a cut above the rest. Specifically for Warhammer Fantasy, it is just straight up, hey, you're a fairly average mook. You want to climb your way to the top? Also, Evolution, that's Warhammer 40k. We're talking fantasy.
That is another thing that we do plan to do in the near future, Slitherite. That will not require applications because we're not so much... It'll be basically a bunch of one-shots or maybe 2 or 3 sessions. And basically not a whole lot of role play so much as a just gathering together, playing it, going through character creation and stuff, and seeing how it is.
Yeah, and then a lot of it would be if you want to do a role play thing. Even if normally I'd go hand wave, yeah, you can do that. Instead, pretty much every single time, I'm going to be trying to craft a role that you have to make sure that for various situations, there is at least a reasonable set of skills that we can put together for attribute skill, yada, 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 in order to, be able to craft that sort of stuff.
Smiles, everyone.
Also,
Smiles.
real quick, Slitherite.
This is like some great fantasy.
Oddsockcyan has purchased 10 general cards and reactions packs.
Well, thank you so much for that, Ash. Thank you so much for the support. I hope you enjoy your cards. Slitherite, are you still here? Let me know if you get anything nice, Ash. Preferably before just bombarding me with something.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, so for the Poke Roll, it is much more of a playtest. Just straight up, playtest.
So, Slitherite, do I find pigs in one of these biodomes, or are they somewhere else? Because I've been to 3 of these things, and I've found the exact same setup in each. Except one had an ocelot, or 2 of them had an ocelot, and the other one did not. Boop boop.
I was about to say, Jesus Christ, that is way too loud to be mine. What was that?
Row.
But yeah, something I was curious about. So you said that you're going to start us in the Empire.
Yep, players will be able to vote on which specific region they want to be in. So you could choose to start Ostland, Averland, Reichland, Ostland, Middenheim. You could choose, various areas. Oh, Arzi.
Arzi, you're still here.
Arzi.
What are you doing still up? Not that I'm complaining, just what are you doing still up? Oh, so you are a puppy type. I see, RZ, I see.
Because you fucking left it, I'm like, wait,
Odsocks is
RZ's
dancing
here?
with the crabs, but for longer.
But RZ, the ice cream was for the puppy types. So you having ice cream means that you are now turning into a puppy type.
I don't see what I did.
I enjoyed the dance with the crabs. But very nice
Okay,
on the
fine,
longer
I am
one.
friendship.
You okay, Ash?
Yeah.
I do know that there is a way to reset the name on Streamloots. I don't know how, but I know a few people have been able to figure it out pretty easily since you've changed your name.
By the way, Jit, so just so you know, Ostland is literally one of the worst choices.
Why is it one of the worst?
Well, there'd be plenty of work. Oh, that's not even... Okay, Jits, that is true, but I was referencing the Forest of Shadows.
I mean, I'll take Taldarius's word for it, but I still want to know why.
Forest of Shadows.
Ah.
You can see Jits will immediately recognize what I'm talking about here. It just like...
It's going to be interesting using my Skaven voice the entire time during the game.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not very good at doing the double
Tarzy.
word thing.
Hi, Taldi.
Yay. But yes, Forest of Shadows
Arzo
is so
thinks it's time
aggressively
to
bad.
celebrate.
What was that?
I was just talking about how the Forest of Shadows is so awful that it automatically demotes Ostland to one of the worst places to be in by itself.
Ah.
So in Warhammer Fantasy, think about the fact that it is known as the gloomiest of the Empire's forests.
Odsocks is excited.
Yeah, excited for what? Odsocks?
Yes, Ash, what are you excited about?
Keep talking.
Keep talking.
Okay. But yeah. Chat, what do you think about starting the party in the Forest of Shadows?
I'll be honest, I don't know a whole lot about the Forest of Shadows.
It's a forest completely filled to the brim with beastmen. It also has orcs inside. Chaos warbands use it to pass through as well. So it has chaos, it has orcs, it has beastmen, it has giant spiders. It's used for a lot of chaos cultists as like meeting places. And that is literally not even the worst part. It is also home to Melchior, who, when I say Okay. Melchior the Ancient was the first Necrarch vampire. And when I say Necrarch, think the same kind of vampire that a D&D Lich is, like personality-wise. And throw that in a tower in the middle of the woods for centuries.
Forest of Shadows bad then.
Now, you see, the thing is, Melchior, as, like, you know, is actually presumed dead. And his one-time apprentice, Zacharias the Ever-Living, who is infinitely more brutal, is now in charge.
Well, okay. So we're not starting there. Got it.
Okay, so you don't want to start in Ostland? You know what? Here, I'll name out all of the different imperial provinces, and you can tell me which one you think sounds good.
Well, let me ask...
Julie, do the thing.
What am I doing?
Do the thing. Julie, do the thing.
What I was going to ask, in terms of Stacks, and his whole thing for how he would join, you know, be in the Empire, where would be most likely that they would just stick him? And of course, give him a lab.
So, obviously, he'd be drugged to Altdorf to deal with the college. Like, that would just straight up happen. So the thing is that Clan Mulder is based out of Hellpit, obviously. At least as a part of like, their main...
Yeah, and it's fairly close to the Empire.
Yeah, but like northern.
Yeah.
So...
I haven't set my packs.
You know, you'd be pulled all the way to the south of the Empire. And then, you know what, how about, like, you just go ahead and describe, like, sort of what you would request. Because you mentioned wanting bodies and a lab.
No, not bodies. Live people. I have sent that to you, RZ. He would want live test subjects. Uh-oh.
What now?
Oh no. That's not good.
My laptop just randomly restarted on me.
Oh. In the meantime, when you just say live bodies, do you mean live human bodies, live orc bodies? What kind?
He is good with any.
Any and every?
Yeah. Specifically, he wants a large variety.
Oh, you want variety?
You see, he's testing, he wants them to test his experiments on his various potions and concoctions and the like. So, you know, it might be great that he can confirm it works on humans, but what about orcs or dwarves or elves or beastmen or etc., etc.?
Okay,
yeah, you're getting okay. You know what? I can tell you right now. Are you like? You're getting thrown in Averland. Oh, you're getting thrown in Averland.
Oh?
Take a guess on why you're getting thrown into Averland.
Averland, if I remember right, in Total War, is on the easternmost side. I believe it is bordered by... You've got... the bear people. I cannot remember their name right now.
Ursas? Whatever, something, who knows?
Starts with
They are not bordered by Kislev.
They're not?
They are not. Averland is in the south.
Is Averland the one near the halflings? The moot?
Yes, but...
Okay.
Yes, south of the moot. So, Averland touches the World's Edge Mountains, along with the dwarves therein. It has Blackfire Pass, which is under constant siege by orcs. Throughout the various hills and dotted forests of the land, there are goblin tribes, there are orc tribes, there are undead. There is a land border to Stirland to the north. There's a land border to Wissenland to the west. And to the east, there's a border to Sylvania. This means on the various total amount of disparate live bodies you could get access to is you could get access to reanimated bodies by way of necromancers and all that. Yeah, beastmen there too. You can get access to beastmen, you can get access to orcs, you can get access to humans, you can get access to dwarves. And if you take a jaunt through Blackfire Pass and live, you can make it into the Border Princes, which also hold elf lands.
Sounds... I mean, as far as the options around, definitely sounds good. Why do I have the feeling that you're, this might be a Forest of Shadows type situation, though?
Because Blackfire Pass exists there. Blackfire Pass is one of the only legitimate entries into the Empire. Think about the amount of orcs and orc assaults and orc was that shoot up Blackfire Pass through the World's Edge Mountains.
And monkeys.
Also, there absolutely is. Actually.
Yeah,
let's
Stash
just
is
point
not
this out.
opposed to experimenting on Skaven, too.
Yep. So let's just bring up the fact that depending on the timeline, no matter what, the people who are in charge of Averland, like the ruling lineage, are literally insane.
Okay.
Literally the most recent, like if you're going with like most recent, where it's like Storm of Chaos, like most current, the late Elector Count Marius Lightdorf the Mad would have been the most recent ruler. He died defending Blackfire Pass. He died in 2520, just so you know.
Okay.
Where in terms of there being no ruler, Averland is different by imperial standards, because the other provinces look at Averland and think that it's completely typical of Averlanders, where instead of having a good, honest, and short little war over who will be in charge, Averlanders instead insist on a drawn-out game of politics, maneuvering, one-upmanship, and all such things like that. Which means that after years, there's still a power vacuum in the Elector Countship for the entire region. There hasn't been an actual ruler in the region for years. Not to mention, attacks on Blackfire Pass not stopped. You know, the fact that they have a border with Sylvania means that there are undead invasions. You know, so there's all of that. And not to mention the fact that their forests are still infested, as sparse as they are, with orcs, undead, beastmen, all kinds of nasty things. And one of the big problems is that the hills and dales that go through their land, you know, if you brush over the wrong one, you may have just woken up a cairn.
Woken up a what?
A burial cairn. You know, the kind where the dead bodies inside of that cavern and cairn will wake up.
Ah.
Not to mention that the inhabitants of Averland are also verifiably insane.
So he'll probably be able to get plenty of test subjects there.
Yeah. And when I say verifiably insane, imagine a bunch of moonstruck humans who have good relations with dwarves because the dwarves think that their reactions are very reasonable.
Okay. I'm liking this starting zone.
And I'm just pointing out that when I'm talking the dwarves in Warhammer Fantasy, think that these humans have very reasonable reactions to things.
So they hold grudges.
Yes.
Okay.
But they are also very strange. So if they go to a funeral and they think something's funny about it, they will laugh. And if someone upsets them, they're going to let you know. They also are extremely blunt, but also heavily believe in astrology. Like, merchants will literally ditch deals made during something they consider an unfavorable hour on an unlucky day. Even Dwarven troll slayers, like Dwarven slayers, who went so mad at the verifiable guilt, like palpable guilt they felt due to some wrong that they perceived they did, put themselves literally on death watch and went, I will fight until I die and my sin is, like, you know, cleansed. Think that Averlanders are a bit odd in the head due to this. Averland is known for hating things like lawyers and contracts, because they imply that like, you know, upon an agreement, a man might change their mind, which is something they do constantly. But it means that within Averland, you cannot get your hands on a good lawyer or a contract. They're described as having like a whim of iron. I think that's the descriptor that's used. A whim of iron.
I'm not certain what that might mean.
Oh, it means that they will randomly change their opinion on things or their opinion of you, and nothing you can do can change their new opinion until they change it.
Oh, okay.
So you know that merchant that you were having really great dealings with? Well, he's decided that deals with you are unlucky and he will refuse to deal with you now.
Fun.
That's fine. Stacks will shoot him.
Yeah, I'm just letting you know that that is how Averlanders are.
Actually, more likely, Stacks will just kidnap him, take him back to his lab, and be like, okay, let's see, which potion shall we use on you tonight? Ooh, what about this one?
I know, tell me more.
Azidu gave you the radio demon voice.
Well, you see, we're going to go ahead and take them down into the pit. Of course, I'm going to have a pit. And in this pit, we're going to just drop a little drop. Yes.
And Stanley died again.
Oh, no. They cannot die. No. They must live. They must be experimented on. They need to be changed. Yes.
Just so you know, this is lore accurate because the Skaven literally have long-distance communications called far squeakers that have a large amount of interference. So that was actually lore accurate.
Okay, I have recovered my laptop. I still have no idea what caused that, but how far? Okay, doesn't look like you lost any progress, at least.
Well, there's only one thing you can do.
Oddsock Cyan is dancing with the crabs.
Oh.
Yes, dance with the crabs.
Tommy,
Dance.
let's go dance with the crabs.
Also, Zim, I
Yes.
just want to point something out. I fucking dare you to use Skaven tech in my game. Do it.
Why do you say that? Because it's unstable?
Oh, just do it. Unstable implies that it may be stable more often than it's not.
Warning,
That
they
implies that if
contain
you flip
traces.
a coin, it's more likely to work than it is to not work.
Warning, may contain traces of explosions.
Warning. Possible face slapping.
I wonder how mad the party's gonna be when you pull out a device and immediately fucking explodes into hot warpstone shards and gives everyone corruption points.
That sounds fun.
I will say he's got a warp lock pistol.
You can regrow your hand.
Yeah, exactly.
Sounds about right.
No, legitimately, he can.
His so he's wields a warplock pistol and basically the head part of a storm vermin halberd.
Alright. So, by the way, guys, just so you know, at the very least, Zim's character is not a Skaven magician. A Gracier.
Death comes for you on short legs!
Azidu is making you mini-sized.
Because, and I just want to point this out, do you guys know how Skaven Graciers get their power?
I do not actually.
They grind up warpstone like cocaine and snort it.
Oh.
Warpstone. Straight pure warpstone. They dust it up and snort it like cocaine.
Well, yeah, he doesn't do that. He is not a
Oddsock
Gracier.
Cyan is making with the grabby paws.
But he does need large supplies of warpstone for his potions. Or at least some of them.
Oh, that is true. Yes, but I do just want to point out that if he wasn't like, if he happened to be a Gracier instead, the party would have to deal with the fact that they literally have an ally that snorts warpstone like cocaine.
I've got, so for him, I will say, getting him out of the lab, he's going to need to be able to acquire ingredients or, you know, bodies or such for his potion, so do be aware you'll need to come up with stuff for that. Or he'll just need, you know, people, subjects, or some other kind of motivation for his experiments. Well, yes, that's why he needs to, like, aside from literally having Stacks dragged out of his lab, like physically dragged or magically dragged or something of that nature, he's not going to willingly leave without needing something.
By the way, I have a question for you, Zim.
No!
Yes.
Does he use the full proper ammunition and powder for that warp lock pistol?
Undecided.
Okay. For those of you not in the know, you're supposed to fire those things with gunpowder mixed with warpstone. As you may assume, this could have adverse effects on the trout population.
The trout population?
Have you never seen that meme? Oh my god. This may affect the trout population?
No.
I've seen it either.
No, I have not. I am definitely coming to the conclusion that you just speak in meme.
One.
Well, that one I at
like,
least know.
Yeah. Just fucking look at media share.
Lyndon!
Oh, hi, Lyndon. Lyndon's back.
Oh, that. Yeah. That would definitely affect the trout population.
This will affect the trout population. The same as your warp lock pistol firing right next to your allies with the full with the warp powder, gunpowder mix.
I fail to see a problem with this.
Your allies might.
Well,
just so you know, in this system, being exposed to warpstone does give corruption.
I command pure chaos! Kinda.
Oddsockcyan has turned _Zim into Eradicate. They can only talk like that Pokemon for 2 minutes.
At least he wasn't turned into Ethan.
Raticate. Rat.
Okay, these are fun.
Raticate.
They're not his allies, they're his test subjects. You see, the thing is, I don't think that he can properly afford to kill all of his allies and turn them into test subjects.
Just imagining that that's your 9 to 5. You clock in, get experimented on, then you knock off for the day.
Raticate. Rat. Kate, yeah. Rat-a-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta-ta. Raticate. Raticate. Raticate? Rat. Eradicate.
I know you're saying rata, but it still sounds like rata rata, like from Chowder.
Rata rata. Alright, I'm back to normal then. But I mean, his real weapon of choice is going to be his various potions, and in particular his allies, as well. That they just got a full dose of you know, T-Rex genome or something along those lines, you know.
I just hope you know that friendly fire will be a thing.
You really think he won't care? You really think he would care about that?
No, it's just more about letting you know. Before you decide to start throwing away, like, you know, poison wind globes that you got your hands on somehow into the fray.
Oh no, why would he do that? They're no use to him dead.
I didn't say poison wind. Or
You
death
did.
wind. I said poison wind. Sorry. I meant poison wind. I didn't say death wind.
I'm not dead.
Oh.
He says he's not dead. Yes, he is. I'm not. He isn't. Well, he will be soon. He's very.
Or death globe, or whatever the actual fucking name is. Death wind, death globe. Who knows?
Yes, Jits. Stax is absolutely going to TF his allies. Don't worry. He has antidotes.
You'll still gain corruption points, though. Or they will. No, you're going to gain corruption points if your body literally mutates around you. It's Warhammer. What are the ingredients of your potions?
Well, I mean,
I'm pretty
obviously
sure those
he needs.
ingredients are warpstone.
Well, yes. Obviously, he's going to need to find another source, but or another variety. But that's something he'll work on. Until
Warpstone
then,
causes
yeah.
corruption, Zim.
Yes, and I'm going.
Just so you know, that
as-
causing corruption, it needs to get to a certain point before it could possibly become a mutation. There's a difference. You can also accept corruption points by cutting deals with me, the DM, in, you know, because obviously I'm taking the role of the Dark Gods here. If you cut a deal with me to get a benefit, you could get a benefit such as, you know, an impromptu reroll, a bonus, and allow it to do a thing, in exchange for, you know, taking on a corruption point. That's called dark dealing.
Oddsock Cyan is dancing with the crabs.
You are
Or dancing
saying
with crabs.
all of these things like they are bad things.
I didn't say it was a bad thing. I'm just letting you know what corruption is used for. But if you get enough corruption, you roll on the mutation table. And just so you know, not every mutation is physical. Oh, you could get some good mental ones in there too.
Sounds like fun.
You could think you're dancing with crabs, but really, you're in a very bad place, surrounded by enemies. I don't know.
You just keep describing these things like they are bad things.
I never said they were all bad.
Well, no, but you're describing them like they are, and yet I'm sitting here
You
like...
think that... Okay, Zim. Literally everything in this setting can and will kill you, and I will, in fact, play it straight.
Okay.
Zim, I hope you know that no matter how deadly your shit is, random town guard number 7 could still just pop a crossbow bolt through your skull.
Yes, I know.
Yes, so I am just reminding you. Game deadly. Game very deadly. Very dead.
I'm just trying to figure out why you are feeling the need to warn me of all these things when I'm sitting here like, and how is this a bad thing?
Because don't you think... okay, so EWM Reaper, thoughts on the concept of good and bad is very subjective, so I'd like at least some qualifiers here. And the reason that I am bringing it up is because you are absolutely, like, you know, you and your group are going to be kept on a fairly short leash when it comes to the things you're allowed to do.
Oh.
So if you want to go and, like, you know, run through the streets and do a bunch of shit, you can do it, but just know that, like, there's going to be, like, the Empire is going to be watching. And obviously, given by the people who you contacted in the first place, you may not see them watching you. Literally. And Jits, I am not a very deadly DM in normal circumstances. But if you put me in charge of a system where it is meant to be deadly, then yes, I am very deadly. Because if there's one system where I could look, cursory glance, at the characters and their power levels and their abilities, and I look at stuff that I know from lore and that I find in the monster section, because there's also, like, you know, crafting your own monster based on the lore and all that, I know what the party can handle. And I know what they are going to look at and think they can handle, but they can't. This is a setting in which you are not only allowed to, it is encouraged to flee for your lives in a very bad spot.
Okay, so
there are literally
now...
rules in this for chase scenes and fighting retreats. Oh, Ash is stopping out of voice.
Oh,
it's
okay, Ash,
only
see
us
you.
now. Only us.
Thanks for coming by and hanging out. Oh. Mini mode is over.
Okay.
I was like, what was that for? But, like... Stax isn't seeing a problem with this. Oh, you're still here? Cool. Like, I understand that that's a bad thing. I understand that
Well, right
Stax
now-
is probably going to wind up dead pretty fast.
Now, look, I am literally telling you because you're the player, and just because I somehow, with the absolute bullshit of accidental power gaming, managed to play through an entire Warhammer Fantasy roleplay 4th edition game without my character dying, does not mean that you guys are accidentally going to stumble into that same shit. In fact, I fully expect that multiple of you are going to die multiple times.
Well, then it sounds like I just need to reach out to Jaffer, give him the book, and help him, or have him help me design my character.
You can do that if you want.
Jaffer!
Okay, look, to be fair, I'm gonna be real with you. There are ways to power game this, but you're trying to power game in Warhammer, which means that your chances of survival go up to maybe to probably.
Okay. So I assume that the gray guys are going to be taking away his pistol. Or at least making him switch to a different...
Sure. It's going to be going away for study. If you want to make another one, or, like, you know, you can also probably ask for it back, maybe.
Oh, okay. I mean, he didn't originally create it, so... It's the kind of the philosophy of a lot of Skaven, where, you know, they kind of just loot whatever that they wind up coming across.
Yeah. So, real quick, I just want to read the section under Dark Deals, because it's such a great little passage. Dark Deals. Sometimes you just have to succeed. Most commonly, this means passing an important test. Should such a test fail, you can use a fortune point to re-roll the test, hopefully passing the second time. But what if it fails again, where you have no fortune points remaining? Then it's time for a dark deal. You can purposefully choose to take a corruption point to re-roll a test, even if it has been re-rolled already. This is always a choice for you, not the GM. Although, there's nothing wrong with the GM gently reminding you that you could try again. After all, what's the worst that could happen? But
and no, actually,
yes.
he's not going to. I'm not going to need to make a handful of different Skaven characters. It's just going to be a bunch of minions that I need to, you know, turn a bunch of peasants into Skaven minions to send them out.
You could absolutely make a couple, like, minion Skaven characters if you want.
Oh yeah, that's definitely something that he plans to do.
Yeah. You know, you're just going to have to be careful doing it, because if you disappear some Imperial citizens, you know, the Grey Order would like to know your location. So just make sure that if you do that, you're doing it to some of those, you know, more chaosy traitor types.
Okay,
after all, if you do it to the Empire's enemies, it's not a war crime.
Okay.
But yes, on the list of stuff that is like corrupting influences, minor exposure involves being near warpstone, moderate exposure being having prolonged exposure to refined warpstone, and then major exposure is consuming warpstone. Please do not attempt to consume warpstone. Man, even reading through this book, just absolutely bringing back good memories of bashing things in the head with my hammer.
Alright, so we need to get started figuring out an actual application. That might be something to do offline. Actually, no, because having people here to do that with might actually be very useful. get
Only
more
thing I'm pointing out is that it's
opinions on
past
it.
5. And I have
That
been
is
holding
fair.
on for a thread. It has only been Warhammer Fantasy keeping me going.
That is fair. We can figure it out another time then.
Yes. I do like how one of the mental corruptions you can get is literally just called Unending Malice, where you get -10 to any test that does not involve hurting another person, and +10 on tests that involve hurting another person. Oh, man. I love it. By the way, just so you know, not all mutations are bad.
Oh?
Yeah. So you can get animalistic legs, which give +1 movement. You can get distended digits, which give +10 dex. You can get an enormous eye, which gives you +10 on perception tests involving sight. Extra leg joints for +5 agility.
So considering his
Inhumane
escape, and
beauty.
he's already going to have the animal legs one, right?
Problem. You could get stuff like Inhumane Beauty, where you get +10 fellowship and you cannot scar. You can get Thorny Scales, which give +1 armor points to all locations.
Nice.
You can get a Whiskered Snout, which gives +10 to track.
Which he would already have.
On the other hand, you can get Emaciated, Corpulent, Inverted Face. Please note, when I say inverted, I do not mean upside down. A Lolling Tongue, Patchy Feathers, Short Legs, stuff like that. And those are all nice and good physical corruptions. And then there's mental ones, where you get Awful Cravings for -5 fellowship and -5 will. You get Crawling Skin for -5 initiative and -5 dex. Please note that that one is literal.
What was that?
Crawling Skin. That's very literal.
Oh.
Yes, your skin will quite literally crawl over your body.
Strange.
Is that stranger than having a literally inverted face?
Equal parts.
Yeah.
But you know, Stax just needs to figure out how to bottle it. It'll be fine.
Please note that literally one of the mutations is getting extra leg joints.
What the heck does that mean?
Well, you know how normally you have knees? What about second knees?
Oh, or second breakfast?
Yeah. You can also get stuff like glowing skin, growing fleshy tentacles all around, stuff like that. You just get an extra mouth. You roll on the hit location table to see where. So it can be on your arm, your leg, your chest. Who knows? It could even be on your head. Wouldn't that be strange, having a mouth on your head?
He already... What? We already have mouths on our head.
And?
So just an extra one?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm okay with that.
Please note, it doesn't say the near your already existing one.
Interesting.
Yeah, would you like to have a mouth literally on top of your head? Or, you know, behind your ear? Would you like to have a mouth that constantly gibbers and, you know, sings praises to the dark gods literally sitting right next to your ear, always murmuring, always talking?
Well, no, I would not. But
that's what that would be.
Stax might find it intriguing.
Please note there's also diseases.
Of course.
Along with a section called Nurgle's Cauldron, Stirring Nurgle's Cauldron, where you get to create your own diseases. Which include effects such as gangrene, nausea, a pox, all that. Very good stuff. By the way, you know how normally like a lot of people like in D&D will basically like, you know, role play like really hating like specific people if they like, you know, have background?
Yeah.
What if I told you in Warhammer Fantasy that's a feature?
Oh?
Yeah, psychological traits. Animosity, which has a target, which is you harbor an enmity for the target, which is normally be a group of people or creatures such as Nordlanders, Beastmen, or Nobles. You must attempt a psychology test whenever you encounter this group. If you pass, you may grumble and spit, but only suffer a penalty of -20 to all fellowship tests towards that group. Should that fail, you are subject to animosity. At the end of every subsequent round, you may attempt another psychology test to bring the animosity to an end. When subject to animosity, you must immediately attack the disagreeable creatures either socially, using insults, jibes, or similar, or physically, as appropriate. You gain a bonus of +1 success level on any attempts to socially or mentally attack the group. Dwarves all start as a racial trait with animosity elves.
Of course.
Trust me, there's very good lore reason as to why. But don't worry, because, you know, animosity, that's some, like, lowball shit. Let's talk about the next psychological trait, hatred. You are consumed with hatred for the target, which is normally a group of people or creatures, such as hawklanders, bog octopuses, or slavers. You will never socially interact with someone or something you hate in this manner. On encountering the object of your hatred, you must attempt a psychology test. If failed, you are subject to hatred. At the end of every subsequent round, you may attempt another psychology test to bring your hatred to an end. If you do or not, the effects of hatred naturally come to an end when all members of the specified group in your line of sight are either dead or gone, or you gain the unconscious condition. While subject to hatred, you must immediately attempt to destroy the hated group by the fastest and most deadly means possible. You're literally required by the game to immediately take the most aggressive and deadliest, like, option in order to kill your enemy.
I see.
Don't worry, because there's also prejudice, which is an entirely different one. So you can either be prejudiced, have animosity, or have hatred. You get to choose your level of racism.
This is
You know,
just sounding more and more interesting to play.
Oh, trust me, there's literally... Okay, look. You can also make custom psychologies, including phobias, traumas, love for people, camaraderie, where, like, you know, you, like a specific group of people, stuff like that. There's even rules for clipping coins and how to detect if your coins have been clipped.
Oh, so just like the tabletop game, they went super freaking in-depth on everything.
Yes, and just remember, this is the simple version. This is not 2E. When me and my buddies played this, we went to 2E for more rules. Other things in this, there's infighting and outfighting, which is, let's say you're fighting someone with a polearm and you have a dagger in your hand. You can step into their guard to impose disadvantage, like a disadvantage upon their attack on you.
Okay.
Yep. So there's all that stuff. But it is funny because one of the first, because there's also like a bunch of optional rules, and literally one of the first ones that pops up is called options. It's all optional.
Wait, what?
Yeah, you can literally, like, every single rule in this book is optional.
Oh, well, yeah, of course.
No, but they, like, put it, like, right away. It's great.
Well, I think this is where I'm going to call it. We'll let Taldarius get some sleep.
Yes. By the way, Axie, be careful if you spell it like that, because Taal is the name of a god in Warhammer Fantasy.
Yeah.
What, do you want to know about Tal?
No, you're going to bed.
Oh, okay.
Next time, though. Next time.
Okay.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us today for Minecraft, though. Check out our website, zgfgaming.com. We've got links for our Discord, Telegram, Twitter, Patreon, and more. There on the website, as well as down in the description below through our link tree. Thank you to my patrons, donators, and subscribers. It is because of your support that I'm able to continue bringing these streams to you all. I seriously cannot do this without your guys' help and support, so thank you. Consider becoming a patron over at patreon.com/zgfgaming. It's one of the best ways to support the channel, though you can also do so by simply sharing the stream around, as well as using our Humble Bundle partner link, which you can find through our link tree to pick up bundles and such on Humble Bundle and support the channel that way. But for now, thank you all so much for joining, and I bid you the most fondest adieu. Y'all can say bye.
Bye.
What if I don't want to?
Why wouldn't you want to?
'Cause I want to say good night.
Well, you can say that too.
I mean, I just did, so...
Oh, okay. Good night, everyone.